Hello, everyone. Today we're going to learn another 10 common idioms, phrases, and sentences that native English speakers use every single day. These expressions are super useful, and I promise by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly what these expressions mean and how to use them naturally in your own conversations. Here's how you can get the most out of this video. First, listen while reading the subtitles. This will help you catch every word and follow along more easily. Then, play the video again and try to repeat the sentences out loud, but this time without reading the subtitles. This will really help you improve your pronunciation, listening, and speaking skills. Don't forget to pause and write down any new idioms or phrases you like. That way, you can remember and review them later. This is a great way to boost your listening, reading, and speaking, all at the same time. This lesson is a fun and simple way to improve your English step by step. Before we dive in, if you're finding this helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe. It helps a ton, and I really appreciate your support. All right, let's get started with our first expression. Number 1, come forward. Come forward is a really common expression that means to step up, to speak up, or to offer information or help. It's like when you volunteer to do something, or when you decide to share important information with someone. You'll hear this expression a lot in different situations. Sometimes it's used when the police are asking witnesses to share what they saw after an accident. Other times, it's used in everyday life when someone needs to be brave and speak up about something important. Let me tell you about my friend Sarah. Last week, she saw a car accident happen right in front of her. The police came and asked if anyone had seen what happened. Sarah was nervous at first, but she knew she had to come forward and tell them what she saw. She walked up to the police officer and said, "I saw everything that happened." For example, you might hear something like, "If you have any information about what happened, please come forward." Here's another one. 3 witnesses came forward to help with the investigation. People often say, "I decided to come forward and tell the truth." This expression is really useful because it shows courage and responsibility. Have you ever been in a situation where you had to come forward about something? It's not always easy, but it's often the right thing to do. Number 2, I just had my nails done. I just had my nails done is a perfect example of how native speakers talk about beauty treatments and personal care. When someone says this sentence, they mean they recently went to a nail salon or did their nails at home, and they're usually pretty proud of how they look. This sentence is super common among women, but men use it too nowadays. It's not just about the nails, it's about that fresh, clean feeling you get after taking care of yourself. People often say this when they want to explain why they're being extra careful with their hands or why they look especially put together. I remember last month, my sister Jessica called me right after she left the nail salon. She was so excited. She said, "I just had my nails done and they look amazing. I got this beautiful pink color with little flowers." She was being extra careful not to touch anything because she wanted her nails to stay perfect. For example, you might hear something like, "I just had my nails done, so I can't help you move those boxes right now." Here's another one. She just had her nails done, so she's being super careful with everything. Let's take this one. I can't open this jar because I just had my nails done. This sentence is great because it's a polite way to explain why you might not be able to help with certain tasks. Plus, it's a nice way to share something that makes you feel good about yourself. Do you ever get your nails done? Let me know in the comments. Number 3, let's celebrate. Let's celebrate. is such a happy, positive expression that native speakers use all the time. It means it's time to do something fun and special because something good happened. It could be a big achievement, like getting a new job, or something small, like finishing a difficult project. What I love about this sentence is that it brings people together. When someone says, "Let's celebrate," they're not just talking about themselves, they're including everyone around them. It's a way of sharing joy and making good moments even better. Just yesterday, my coworker Tom found out he got promoted to manager. He was so excited. He came into our office and said, "Guess what? I got the promotion. Let's celebrate." So we all went out for lunch together and had the best time. It made his good news feel even more special because we all celebrated together. For example, you might hear something like, "We finished the project on time. Let's celebrate." Here's another one, "It's your birthday tomorrow. Let's celebrate this weekend." People often say, "You got into your dream college. Let's celebrate." This phrase works for both big and small moments. Maybe you finally learned a difficult English grammar rule, or maybe you made a new friend. Either way, it's worth celebrating. What's something you celebrated recently? I'd love to hear about it in the comments. Number 4. I haven't told anybody. I haven't told anybody is a really important phrase that shows trust and privacy. When someone says this, they're letting you know that whatever information they're sharing with you is secret or private, and they haven't shared it with anyone else. This phrase creates a special bond between people. It's like saying, "You're the first person I'm telling this to," which makes the listener feel trusted and important. It's often used before sharing news, whether it's good news like a pregnancy or job offer, or more serious news that needs to be kept private. I remember when my best friend Maria was thinking about quitting her job to start her own business. She was scared and wasn't sure if it was the right decision. One evening, she called me and said, "I haven't told anybody this, but I'm thinking about quitting my job and starting my own bakery." She trusted me enough to share her biggest dream and biggest fear at the same time. For example, you might hear something like, "I haven't told anybody yet, but I'm getting married next month." Here's another one. "I haven't told anybody, but I'm thinking about moving to another city." Let's take this one. "I haven't told anybody this, but I'm really struggling with my English classes." This expression shows that English speakers value privacy and trust. It's a way of making someone feel special and trusted. Have you ever had someone tell you something they haven't told anybody else? It's quite an honor. Number 5, can you keep a secret? Number 5 is, can you keep a secret? This question goes perfectly with our last expression. When someone asks this, they're checking if you can be trusted with private information. It's like asking, "Are you good at not telling other people things that should stay private?" This is such a common question in English, and it usually comes right before someone shares something important or exciting. It's a way of asking for your promise that you won't share what they're about to tell you with anyone else. Let me tell you about what happened with my neighbor Lisa last week. She knocked on my door and had this huge smile on her face. She said, "Can you keep a secret?" Of course, I said yes. Then she told me she was planning a surprise birthday party for her husband, and she needed my help to keep him busy while she decorated. It was so fun being part of the surprise. For example, you might hear something like, "Can you keep a secret? I'm going to propose to my girlfriend next week." Here's another one. Can you keep a secret? "I got the job I interviewed for." People often say, "Can you keep a secret? I'm pregnant, but we're not telling anyone yet." This question is really useful because it helps build trust between people. It's also a polite way to ask someone to respect your privacy. When someone asks you this question, they're showing they trust you. Do you think you're good at keeping secrets? Let me know in the comments. Number 6, you're worth more than that. Our sixth expression is, you're worth more than that. This is a really powerful and supportive phrase that native speakers use to encourage someone. It means that person deserves better treatment, better opportunities, or better circumstances than what they're currently experiencing. This phrase is often used when someone you care about is being treated badly or is accepting less than they deserve. It could be about a job that doesn't pay enough, a relationship that isn't healthy, or any situation where someone is settling for less than their worth. I'll never forget when my friend David was working at a job where his boss was really mean to him. David was talented and hardworking, but his boss never appreciated him and paid him very little. One day, David was telling me how miserable he was, and I said, "David, you're worth more than that. You deserve a boss who respects you and pays you fairly." That conversation gave him the confidence to start looking for a new job, and now he's much happier. For example, you might hear something like, "Don't let them treat you that way. You're worth more than that." Here's another one. "That salary is too low for someone with your skills. You're worth more than that." Imagine this. You're worth more than that toxic relationship. This expression is so important because it reminds people of their value and worth. Sometimes we all need someone to remind us that we deserve good things. Have you ever had someone tell you that you're worth more than what you were accepting? It can be life-changing. Number 7, I can't hear you. Number 7 is I can't hear you. This might seem like a simple phrase, but it's actually used in many different situations by native speakers. The most obvious meaning is that the sound isn't clear or loud enough, but it can also be used in other ways. Sometimes people say this when they're on the phone and there's a bad connection. Other times, it's used when someone is speaking too quietly or when there's a lot of background noise. But native speakers also use it in a playful way, like when they want someone to speak up more confidently or when they're encouraging someone to be louder. Last weekend, I was at my nephew's baseball game. He was playing really well, but he was being modest about it. I was cheering for him from the stands, and he looked over at me. I cupped my hands around my mouth and shouted, "You're amazing!" But he just shrugged. So I yelled, "I can't hear you, tell me how great you're playing." He laughed and finally shouted back, "I'm doing pretty good." It was such a fun moment. For example, you might hear something like, "Sorry, I can't hear you, can you speak up?" Here's another one. "The music is too loud, I can't hear you." People often say, "I can't hear you. Can you come closer?" This phrase is really practical for everyday communication. Phone calls, noisy restaurants, crowded places, there are so many times when you need to let someone know you can't hear them clearly. Have you ever been in a situation where you couldn't hear someone clearly? What did you do? Number 8, I didn't sleep at all. Our eighth expression is, I didn't sleep at all. This is a really common way that native speakers talk about having a sleepless night. It's often an exaggeration. Maybe they got a little bit of sleep, but they felt like they didn't sleep at all because the sleep was so poor or interrupted. People say this for many different reasons. Maybe they were worried about something important, maybe they were excited about something happening the next day, or maybe they were sick. Sometimes it's because of external things like noisy neighbors or a snoring partner. I remember the night before my job interview at my current company. I was so nervous and excited at the same time. I kept thinking about what questions they might ask and practicing my answers in my head. I kept looking at the clock 11 p.m., 1 a.m., 3 a.m., 5 a.m. When my alarm went off at 7 a.m., I felt terrible. The first thing I said to my roommate was, "I didn't sleep at all last night. I'm so nervous about this interview." For example, you might hear something like, "I didn't sleep at all last night because the baby was crying." Here's another one. "I'm so tired today. I didn't sleep at all because I was thinking about the test." Let's take this one. "I didn't sleep at all because my neighbors were having a party." This expression is perfect for explaining why you might look tired or feel grumpy. It's a way of sharing that you had a difficult night. Everyone has nights like this sometimes. What keeps you awake at night? Let me know in the comments. Number 9, did you get hurt? Number 9 is, did you get hurt? This is a caring question that shows concern for someone's physical well-being. Native speakers ask this question when they see someone fall, have an accident, or hear about something that might have caused injury. This question shows that you care about the person and want to make sure they're okay. It's one of the first things people ask after any kind of accident or incident. It's a way of showing empathy and offering help if it's needed. 2 weeks ago, I was walking in the park when I saw a little boy fall off his bike. He was crying, and his mom ran over to him. The first thing she said was, "Oh, honey, did you get hurt?" She checked his knees and hands for cuts or scrapes. Luckily, he was just scared and didn't have any real injuries. But it was so sweet to see how quickly she wanted to make sure he was okay. For example, you might hear something like, "I heard you had a car accident. Did you get hurt?" Here's another one. "You fell down the stairs. Did you get hurt?" People often say, "That looked like it hurt. Did you get hurt?" This question is really important because it shows you care about people's safety and well-being. It's one of those phrases that can make someone feel better just by knowing that you're concerned about them. Have you ever asked someone this question? Or has someone asked you this after you had an accident? Number 10, you always get your way. Our final expression today is, you always get your way. This phrase is used when someone consistently gets what they want or convinces others to do what they want. It can be said in different ways. Sometimes it's said with admiration, sometimes with frustration, and sometimes just as an observation. Getting your way means that things usually work out the way you want them to. Some people are really good at persuading others or making things happen the way they prefer. This isn't necessarily bad. It might mean someone is a good negotiator or leader. I have a friend named Alex who is amazing at getting his way, but in a good way. Last month, our group couldn't decide where to go for dinner. Everyone wanted something different. But Alex said, "Trust me, I know the perfect place that has something for everyone." He was so confident and enthusiastic that we all agreed to go where he suggested. And you know what? The restaurant was perfect. Later, my friend Jenny laughed and said, "Alex, you always get your way, but it always works out great." For example, you might hear something like, "She wanted to go to the beach instead of the mountains, and guess what? We're going to the beach. She always gets her way." Here's another one. "He convinced the teacher to postpone the test again. He always gets his way." Imagine this. You always get your way because you're such a good negotiator. This expression can be used playfully with friends and family. It's a way of recognizing when someone is particularly good at influencing situations. Do you know someone who always gets their way? Or are you someone who usually gets your way? Tell me about it in the comments. Let's recap what we learned today. We covered 10 super useful expressions that native English speakers use every day. We learned about come forward, which means to step up or speak up. We talked about I just had my nails done, a common way to talk about beauty treatments. We covered let's celebrate, which is perfect for sharing good news and happy moments. We also learned about I haven't told anybody, which shows trust and privacy. We discussed can you keep a secret, which is how you ask someone to keep information private. We talked about you're worth more than that, a powerful way to encourage someone. We covered I can't hear you, which is useful in so many everyday situations. We learned about I didn't sleep at all, which is how people talk about sleepless nights. We discussed did you get hurt, which shows care and concern for others. And finally, we learned about you always get your way, which is used when someone consistently gets what they want. Remember, the best way to learn these expressions is to practice using them in real conversations. Try to use one or two of these expressions this week and see how natural they start to feel. If this video helped you learn something new, please hit that like button and subscribe for more English learning content. I post new videos with 10 more common expressions every day, so make sure to come back tomorrow. Which of these 10 expressions was your favorite today? Or which one do you think you'll use most often? Let me know in the comments below. I love hearing from you. Take care and keep practicing your English. Remember, every day you practice is a day you get better. I believe in you, and I'll see you tomorrow with 10 more amazing expressions. Have a wonderful day.